My name is Deanna Fogarty. I'm from Seal Beach, California. I'm a survivor of the family court corruption system. Child Protective Services is an agency that has been endowed with an abundance of power and yet limited checks and balances. A cluster of laws have shifted the agency's criteria for separating a child from their family. Unwittingly, this shift has created a financial incentive for summarily removing children from their homes. Not surprisingly, this policy creates an environment that invites unwarranted removals and encourages the fabrication of evidence. I'm a mom from Orange County, California, who in the year 2000 found myself on the wrong side of a social worker who maliciously turned my life, and more importantly, the lives of my children, into a virtual nightmare. This individual proceeded to build a false case against me that resulted in my losing my custody of my two precious daughters for over 6.5 years. Removing a child from their family is a severe course of action, which carries with it everlasting psychological trauma. I know too well the devastation that can be exacted by a social worker motivated by unchecked power and fortified by her superiors. 7 years it took, and confident in my innocence, I took on the task of clearing my name. Thankfully, after a 7-week trial, and despite insurmountable odds, a jury of Orange County taxpayers held their agency accountable and rendered a verdict in my favor against 2 of its social workers for denying my constitutional right to familial association. As one of the largest awards of its kind in the nation, the jury's verdict spoke volumes to their outrage at the county for their despicable conduct. The county appealed my verdict all the way to the United States Supreme Court, where the county's petition for a writ of certiorari was denied. To this day, the county refuses to agree to any wrongdoing, in spite of the jury's findings to the contrary. The social worker that falsely accused me still works for the same agency, and in fact has been given a promotion. How can the system correct itself if it refuses to accept its own wrongdoing? Unfortunately, this kind of abuse of power is not uncommon. There are perhaps hundreds of thousands of individuals nationwide, many whose stories mirror mine and who should benefit from a similar kind of justice, but sadly rarely do. Immunity laws, the lack of transparency in dependency proceedings, claims of confidentiality, and the best interest of the child are but a few examples of how those with a proclivity to abuse the power entrusted to them have managed to shield themselves from accountability for far too long. Suing the government is not for the faint of heart, but it's important to know that it is possible and that holding them accountable is essential if we want this kind of abuse to end. It is my hope that the verdict rendered in my case will help others who may find themselves in a similar situation. I pray for the day when cases like these are few and far between. Dr. Martin Luther King said it best, "A threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." I encourage others who have a similar story to share it. Unity has the power to create an undeniable voice for justice. This movie, Lawless America, has the potential to change lives, many thanks to Bill Windsor and his willingness to bring a voice to the many who have not been heard.